Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the update. This is for yesterday, which was Thursday, the 14th of May in this year of 2026. So, I was back in the classroom for the day that this was about, which again was yesterday, and I was at the Roadrunner School. Now, this time, actually doing something a little bit different than normal. I've talked a lot about 5th grade and 4th grade and high school and middle school. Well, today I was 2nd grade. And 2nd grade is actually pretty close to what I actually did my teacher training in. So theoretically, should be right at my wheelhouse. And, still like to think we're doing a pretty good job. That being said, I've kind of become used to the middle school, high school vibe over the last couple of years. Like intermediate and high school, or intermediate and middle school. And so this was a little bit of something different. And there's the additional kind of quirk in it that this is actually a split class, meaning like 60% of them are 2nd graders and the other 40% are 3rd graders. And I really have to salute teachers that have a class that is set up in that particular way, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and when you have a bit of an age range there, especially at the elementary level, it makes it quite interesting. And so I definitely have to salute the teacher that did this, or that has this. I've done a few of these classes over the years, and it's a unique experience. Also, when also, the youngest class that I've dealt with full-time this year, and I mean full-time, like not PE or library, and honestly, it was quite a good day. And so, yeah. And a couple other kind of weird things about it. Quite a while ago, when talking about something that happened in a 5th grade class, in one of these, I mentioned that a year or two ago, I was actually in a 3rd grade when the power went out at the Roadrunner School. It was the classroom I was in today. And luckily the light stayed on this time, so we good. But yeah, that was that same room. And to kind of add the community of this, on Valentine's Day and the couple of days before Valentine's Day, I was in, I should say the 3 days before Valentine's Day, because I think the 13th was a Friday this year, if I recall correctly. I was in a 3rd grade, and the room I was in today was right across the hall. I mean, right across the wall. And they have one of those collapsible folding wall things, and so quite literally I was teaching 25 feet from where I was teaching back in February. And luckily the teacher next door is a good friend of mine, so yeah. But it was a quite good day there, and highly enjoyable. Again, particularly for the youngest group of kiddos that I've had for a full day this year. And yeah, they should be proud of themselves. Something else that, of course, I was helped by the fact that today's agenda was pretty easy. And so we had both a lesson from the counselor who came in to teach a special, civics lesson type of thing for 30 minutes, and then our art lesson taught by a guest parent. And this district has a what's called Art Discovery, which is a parent-led art program, and quite neat. And then when you're in a situation like that, you're the regular classroom teacher, you're kind of there for management and assisting, and so got to do that for an hour as well. And I'm not going to say that the teacher that I was in, whose room I was in, was one of the super experienced teachers. But when I was 6 or 7 years ago now, actually, I found out that one of my supervisors at the store had her for kindergarten. So maybe she's been in the business a while. which is another reason that that class runs very well. So, and the other kind of neat thing, education in my mind is about, relationships. And it was actually kind of a neat thing. And I realized that as I was introducing myself, that this is what would be that class. This is actually first time with yours truly in the room. And then you've probably picked up from these videos that if a second grader in that building has me, this is probably not going to be the first time that we're working together over the next few years. And that's more than likely the case. And so kind of neat actually explaining that this is probably going to be the first time of a multi-year kind of deal, depending on which teachers they get. And honestly, one of my very favorite parts of being a sub is that while the regular teachers generally, stay in the one grade and then, the next group comes the following September, as a sub, I've actually been able to kind of follow the cohorts up. I've now had kids that I've worked with in elementary, middle, and high school, which is actually rewarding as all get out. Seriously. And yeah, so knowing that yesterday was probably the first day of goodness knows how many years of working together with one of these groups actually was super cool. So, and hopefully the impression was good. Now, a rather also unique thing, when I'm in class, okay, I eat Lunchables. All right, that's the lunch that I would bring to school, like, every day. And I realized in the morning, I didn't buy Lunchables because I had driven home from Central Oregon the day before. You may remember that I had to come back from Central Oregon. Well, as again, I'm trying to get the hiccups during these videos. I swear to goodness, I keep doing this right after I eat, and that's what I get. But anyway, I realized I didn't have any Lunchables. So for lunch that day, I had some fruit snacks that I had in my closet and a couple of pepperoni sticks that were left over from lunch at the store like 4 or 5 days ago. Not proud of it, but that's what I had. Anyway, so I get off work I get off from teaching, at which the contract day there ends between 2:45 and 2:55, depending on when you start. You have a little bit of flex in this building. And I am not doing this again, so I'm going and getting Lunchables. A Lunchable for Friday morning, which I ate like 7 hours ago now. But anyway, so I went to the store to get this Lunchable. And I was there about 3:30 in the afternoon. Well, I don't know if this is like the karma gods or something smiling on me, but it just so happened that when I showed up to buy that one Lunchable that I had for lunch today, if you've caught my stories in the last about the last week of so videos about my colleague Carla at the customer service counter at the store, I mentioned that she was retiring. Well, this was her final day. After 38 years of retail at this company, it was her final day. And her shift is 6:30 to 3:30. And again, as somebody that I've known since 2004, I just happened to be there talking to a couple of my friends who were working the self-checkout at the time when I was told that I was actually showed up right to witness the last moments of Carla's career. And ended up, I think I ended up being the last employee last person she spoke to while clocked in during her career. And awesome. Carla, I love you. And I was so glad I was there for that. Have a great one, everyone, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.